Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back to Stamford Bridge, where today we're going to do a special little review of the Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's, heavy quotation marks intended, historical epic. We have all seen it. We have all suffered through. How long was it? 3 hours and something, I think?
Just under 3 hours.
Just under 3 hours, yes. 2 hours and 53 minutes.
Yeah, painfully long.
Yes, and the worst part, it so obviously did not need to be that long, because there are long periods of just waffle.
Yep.
I mean, it's like, it feels like it was way too long, but too short at the same time. It feels too short if they were actually going to be accurate with the retelling of the story. But it felt way too long for whatever the hell Nolan was trying to do.
Well, I lay a lot of the blame at the fact that because he opens with the splash screen saying, in a time of apparent magic. And then we're introduced to fucking Cyclops and Skillers and eternal whirlpools and gods and shit. And it felt like when Christopher Nolan sat down to write this, he was like, well, I want to have a grounded version of the Odyssey. And then eventually he had to introduce the magical elements and he just kind of forgot to write out that part.
Yeah, they did the same sort of thing in Troy 2004, didn't they? It's like, we're essentially going to make like a kind of secular historical version. It's like, all right, but the gods were kind of important back then, you know? They're kind of key to the story.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my one judgment with Troy, is that there was no involvement with the gods at all. And honestly, when I was sitting and thinking about it, I think he just kind of wrote in Athena just to give Zendaya a role, because there's no other gods involved. It was just Zendaya as Odysseus's PTSD manifestation of guilt and whatever.
Well, I mean, I guess you could debate whether or not she even was a god, because, okay, the movie's entire, like, kind of end plot point is divided into two things. One, strangers are bad and we should kill them, which, interesting idea, I admit. And this idea of the Bronze Age collapsing. He literally said, Age of Bronze is coming to an end. And
it's so bad, isn't it?
It's terrible. And then Zendaya is just like a flashback of a girl who was killed in Troy when they cut off the Athena statue. So I'm presuming that isn't Athena. That is like a personification of civilization, of their age coming to an end. And she's just the ghost that haunts him.
Maybe.
Because there are no other gods. I mean, Calypso says, like, oh, you got to go out to the sea, and Poseidon's going to do his stiff thing, but Zeus isn't going to let him kill you, etc. But we never actually see any evidence of this directly. And what's weird is, like, okay, so you've got the Cyclops, whose father is Poseidon, and then afterwards they're cursed with terrible sailing, and they don't have the bag of wind as in the actual Odyssey, so there's no other real explanation other than A, they got lost for reasons, or B, Poseidon. So, what? Are the gods real? Are the gods not real? Was that just a random Cyclops?
The mythical beasts in it, Nolan seems slightly embarrassed about as well. They're quite underwhelming, really. The Cyclops itself, not very exciting to look at, really. It's kind of just this skinny, fat, like left-wing man scaled up a million times, right? It was just like, it's not like this big muscular thing that moves with confidence. It was just this weird, like, droopy thing that just happened to be gargantuan. And it was like they were embarrassed that they had to put it on the screen. And then when it got to the sirens, you didn't really get to see them. You could see like the merest outline of them on the rocks. And it's like, okay. And then when you got to the Scylla, it was almost out of shot the entire time, except for when it was retreating back into its cave, and it was just this grey worm thing. It's like, this could have been way more interesting.
I was distraught when we got to see Scylla, because Scylla is my favorite monster when it comes to Greek mythology. And just seeing her end up as just some rock monster, I was so sad.
Are you ready to rut this yellow
And
mare's fluttery,
Charybdis,
buttery
it's
butt?
like they just made her a whirlpool. Didn't show just how vastly, like, not infinite, but like how dangerous she could be and everything. Didn't even show the ebb and flow of her sucking things in, then pushing them out all that much. It was just follow the waves, follow the tide. And this is another thing that with the Nolan film, and even with Epic the Musical, if you've heard about that at all, Sargon. But people have this misunderstanding that, oh, you need to sacrifice 6 people from the crew to get through the Passage of Scylla. You don't. She just has 6 heads. You have that risk of losing 6 people. You don't have to sacrifice them.
Well, like, the idea that he's faintly embarrassed about it is an interesting one, because in 2004, Troy, with God, what was Achilles, the guy, that guy,
Brad Pitt, yeah,
Brad Pitt. Thank you. Of Brad Pitt. So they will go into it with this idea that this is just kind of like more of a historical epic, and so they go like the gods aren't really there. This is just like how history probably went. Here you go. Which, okay, fine. I prefer the gods because this very much story folks around the gods, but okay. But the problem with the Odyssey now is it's half in, half out, which leaves neither side satisfied. The people who want the mythology, with Charybdis isn't just a whirlpool, it's a giant fucking monster fish, which they just ignored. So they don't like it, and the people who might have liked a more grounded interpretation don't like it. I hate these halfway solutions.
Well, the thing is, it works better with Troy and the Iliad, because there aren't any actual monsters in the Iliad. Not that I can remember, anyway. There's lots of intervention from the gods, but it's all men fighting each other on a battlefield, right? So you could, with the Iliad, make a fair argument that really, the stuff about the gods is poetic license to explain the ebb and flow of the battle, right? Fair, okay, yeah. You can endure that, but you can't do that with the Odyssey. Like, you literally can't do that with the Odyssey.
No, and you can also very much so tell that Nolan was kind of sitting there, with the Cyclops in particular, that he kind of wanted to do a little bit of a horror touch, which I like the idea of, like the idea of the horror of mythological elements, and you don't know what it is, and you kind of gotta suss it out, etc. And I actually really enjoyed the scene with Circe, the witch, Cersei. I quite enjoyed that because that was legitimately like creepy and uncomfortable.
Heresy's the question.
Yeah, but why
Fire
was
is
she
the
so
answer.
ugly and old?
Yeah.
Well, because it's the modern day. Why is Helen of Troy, the most beautiful woman in the world, ugly and boring?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
That was something that bothered me with the Cersei thing, not just, her being a old woman in a witch's hut. Nolan took the term witch way too seriously, I swear to God. But
yeah.
It's like
Heresy's
with
the question. Fire is the
Odysseus'
answer.
crew, and specifically Eurylochus. He was the one that was sent out in that search party, that he did not go into Cersei's palace, let alone eat the food. He is the one that went to go find Odysseus. And he was the first one to partake in the food. He was the first one to talk to Cersei, everything like that in this. But also the change of the crew instantaneously not trusting Odysseus and saying, no, you're gonna stay here. We're gonna go check this out. Odysseus has no agency. He is not the leader that everyone knows him to be from the original story. He has no respect from any of his crew, any of his men, anyone who says, oh, it's the great leader Odysseus that, that has the best battle plans, best anything. This is not there. Just like with Telemachus not earning his right to be the man of the house while Odysseus is away. That's just Tom Holland pandering about doing whatever Tom Holland does.
Yeah, it's interesting how Cersei is not portrayed as a powerful witch, but the victim of men. Like,
Yes.
even in his story, like the guys didn't do anything, and Odysseus makes that point clear. But for some reason, Circe is just a feminist man hater. It's like, right, but that's not really. Who cares? What's the point? What's the point in making the argument?
Well, okay, so there was an interesting thing as well. So I want to return to Odysseus because he does really feel like a fucking passenger in this entire story. But one interesting thing I noticed is that it's very clear that the Greeks are supposed to be the bad guys in this story. They're all dressed in black. They're invading Troy. Weirdly as well, the Greeks are multicultural. There are blacks, there are Indians, there's fucking Asians, Filipinos, everything you can count in the Greek army. The Trojans are all white.
Are they?
Yes. The Trojan are all white. And fuck, they're wearing bright white angelic armor.
Thanks, Christopher Nolan.
It's a strange kind of thing where... And oh god, the whole like, oh, we were the sea people. Like, oh god. You can tell that this was Christopher Nolan having like a clever thought at 5 a.m. and then he woke up, realized it wasn't clever, but decided to go with it fucking anyways.
Well, I mean, it's not incorrect, I think. I watch a lot of archaeology channels, and there seems to be a fair consensus that the Mycenaean Greeks were definitely a part of the Sea People Coalition. So
well,
it is kind of true, but there's far too much self-consciousness on the part of the actors, the characters delivering their lines. Our age of bronze are collapsing. We are the Sea Peoples. No one would have referred to it themselves like that. No one would have spoken like this. Why are you doing it?
Well, there's the thing too, right? So the Sea People. Yes, this is where it's kind of clever. The Sea People probably included the Greeks.
Well, we're certain that they did, actually.
Yeah,
Go on.
But here it is. Like, the Sea People aren't just the Greeks. They're the invasion of Troy. That's the Sea People. Odyssey returning and raiding stuff on the way. That's the Sea People. Which doesn't make any sense from the Greek perspective. Why would Ithaca, who sent these raiders, who know they are raiders, who sent the largest fleet ever gathered to raid Troy, go, oh my god, there are pirates around?
Yes, literally like, oh my god, there are pirates, and Odysseus be like, where? Looking around dramatically, like, you dipshit.
And he goes, wait, we were the pirate? Yes. Again, it sounds clever because, as you say, the Greeks probably were the Sea People, but here you have the Sea People suddenly having a moment of dramatic realization that they are the Sea People whilst fearing the Sea People.
Yeah.
So it's like the fucking Vikings coming back home and going, like, have you heard about these dudes raiding villages?
Yeah, it really is. Like, have you heard about these Vikings? They sound bad, don't they?
That's awful.
You know what's weird is that actually some of the best criticism of this came from Emily Wilson, the woman who translated the Odyssey.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
She actually gave some really great criticism. She was like, well, look, like Odysseus is coming back like a fucking Iraq war veteran with PTSD, but that's not what Odysseus's character is like at all. He's arrogant and brash and boastful, and he's looking for glory. And the story of the Odyssey is him getting humbled by the gods throughout his attempt to gain all of this glory. Like the fact they left out the story of nobody, right? Where
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the only thing about the Odyssey my wife knew about. She leans over and goes, oh, she sees the Cyclops. Is this where he says he's nobody? I'm like, no. She's like, what, isn't it? I'm like, no, it is in the story, darling. You are remembering that correctly. It's just it doesn't in this one. And so we watch it. And afterwards she's like, yeah, I didn't get it. Why didn't they do that? It's like, yeah, great question. Great question. I can't explain it either.
Well, Christopher Nolan's explanation was, he's like, well, it wouldn't work in English. Like, what?
No, it works perfectly in English, you fucking retard. What are you talking about?
They've done it in English multiple times through the decades. It's not that hard.
So you can just say it and it makes sense. Just say it out loud. Yeah, no, that does make sense.
Also, speaking of chat, if you are nobody, then remember to like the stream. You gotta like the stream chats. Very important.
Yeah, if you don't like the stream, Poseidon's going to send you on a 7-year voyage.
Yep. The enemy wins. Diversity wins, chat, if you don't like the stream. We have to become the biggest stream, which means more likes, chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Odysseus' character, he's humbled, and then he goes on a trip because nobody has to shout out his name so that Poseidon knows how to curse. And after that is when he goes through all of his trials and eventually returning home. Here, the problem is that Matt Damon's portrayal of the character is kind of exemplified by this image. He remains kind of open-mouthed, confused by what's happening to him the entire time through. He feels like a passenger, like things just happen to him, and he reacts.
Yeah, and it's worth remembering that's the opposite of Odysseus' character. Right, Odysseus is the clever man, the cunning man, cunning Odysseus, the sacker of cities. He is an agent. Mm-hmm. Odysseus is the reason that they won the Trojan War. But as you say, Matt Damon feels like a passenger because, again, Emily Wilson's right. He feels like a PTSD veteran who felt like he didn't have any control of the situation, which is why he's developed PTSD. But that's not the Odysseus from the Odyssey. The Odysseus from the Odyssey is, in fact, too full of himself and needs to, wind his neck in a bit.
Yes. Whereas here, like he doesn't come up with any plans. He doesn't do anything. Like the cleverest thing he does is like, well, why can't we just rush the entrance when the Cyclops opened it? Oh, we can't do that. Why? And he doesn't do a plan. Instead, he blinds the Cyclops, which doesn't result in much, really, because the Cyclops even chases them later on. So that achieved nothing.
Yeah, it is weird that the Cyclops is just like, there are weird men in my cave. I think I'm just going to go to sleep in front of them. What?
Yeah, he eats two of them and just lays down.
Yeah. Like in the Odyssey, he talks to them.
Mm-hmm.
There's even a part where one of the other Greeks are like, okay, well, I'm just gonna cut the fucking Cyclops' throat. Why the hell not? And Odysseus is like, no, don't do that.
In his defense, we can't open the boulder. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good reason not to do it.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, like, we can't open the boulder. Can't you though? What are your best bets here? Like, because they've even got like giant logs that they use to poke out the thing's eye with. You couldn't create a fulcrum, leverage, nothing. You just decided to stay in the Cyclops cave for another day.
Well, I mean, again, I can kind of see why you wouldn't want to take the risk. So I'm not too bad on that one. But there are definitely other bits that are just like, for fuck's sake, come on.
Yeah, and he doesn't really make any clever plans throughout the entire thing. Like, the cleverest plan is literally him him sneaking in to his own house. And even there, his clever plan is to bend the bow, which, okay. So the idea here is that he has a clever trick for how to bend the bow. He knows how to bend the bow because it is indeed too strong and too powerful for any man to bend. So he has a special position that he takes and then he bends the bow correctly. They don't even show that. He just kind of bends the bow, and there you go.
I thought in the Odyssey it was just he was the only person strong enough to do it.
No, he. I think you can see it on some of the carvings as well. Like he has a way of sitting on it, so he uses his legs as well to help bend it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, okay. I know. Shad did a video recently where he tried to mimic it, and he realized, the position that Odysseus was kind of sitting in was the best way to string the bow.
Yes, because again, it's supposed to be a clever trick. He's the man of tricks. But again, nothing. And the worst part is, you actually see in one of the opening sequences when he's hunting the boar, there you see him kind of stood weirdly. That was, I think, supposed to be a hint of how he strung the bow. But then they, I guess, forgot about it for the final scene.
Wow, yeah, I suppose.
Which is not a good thing. Like, you're not supposed to make a 3-hour epic and then go like, well, I forgot this crucial plot point there.
The question, I think, that is the one that everyone should be asking is, why did they make this?
That's a very good question.
What are they trying to achieve?
I don't know. Like, it's the same kind of like, because you can ask yourself every step of the way, why was this movie made? And why was the people cast in this movie?
Yeah.
And I don't really have a satisfying answer for any of it.
Service guaranteed.
Right?
City.
I
It
honestly
seems
think-
kind of inexplicable.
I think this was a vanity project, honestly.
Maybe.
Possibly he, like Christopher Nolan, just wanted to do an epic.
Maybe he specifically wanted to do the Odyssey.
But I feel like there are too many parts of it that doesn't click. Like Agamemnon, right? He's big, he's imposing, and the dumbass helmet is there. But at least they let him aura farm like mad, right? But then in the afterworld, he speaks and he sounds like a fucking woman, and he destroys it.
I mean, Arch, have you
That's
seen
true.
what the man actually looks like?
I know, he looks like a fucking effeminate little bitch, and he speaks like an effeminate little bitch.
Look how they massacred my Agamemnon.
Literally, like, this is the point where you just get somebody to dub his voice. Like, he should sound
Yeah, yeah.
intimidating.
James Earl Jones, this shit, for
Yes.
fuck's sake.
So-
Fucking hell.
Like, Agamemnon doesn't work, and then there's Matt Damon. So, Matt Damon is in the shape of his fucking life for this role. For some reason. Like, he looks fit as absolute fuck. And I'm just kind of like, why did you bother?
Well, I mean, if I were going to be in a movie, I probably would too. Fuck it.
I suppose.
Matt Damon's not a bad actor either. You know, I've enjoyed a lot of his films over the years.
Are you
And
ready
so,
to run
like,
this
for him
yellow
to be
mare's
played, and
watery,
the thing as well,
buttery butt?
he's a clever guy. Like, he's a quick-witted guy. He's obviously not a moron. So that we get like the most boring, stoic Odysseus from him is like, oh, for fuck's sake, come on.
Well, there's the problem, because when he's acting serious, he does the Matt Damon face, mouth slightly open, like he's not quite sure where he is or why he's here. And that is supposed to be a part of his repertoire, but it's the only fucking part of his repertoire in the Odyssey. Mild befuddlement.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I know that he can do other things. So, and of all the characters to make him be very boring with, why Odysseus? Odysseus is an entertaining character.
Yes, like, and the thing as well, Odysseus is supposed to be the guy who comes up with, again, as we keep saying, the clever tricks. You really should be sitting in the cinema trying to figure out how he's gonna finesse this situation.
Yeah.
And he never really, like, the closest he comes to finessing a situation is with Circe, where he grabs her sister as a raven. I was like, I'll just fucking choke the bird.
Yeah, I suppose it is. But even then, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, and I've seen people trying to speak sympathetically about Cersei, like feminists, speaking sympathetically about Cersei. It's like, she's turned her sister into a raven for her own benefit. Like,
Well, I mean, the entire
this is an evil
argument is,
character.
oh, men, evil men aggress upon me. You see shots of her backyard littered in weapons and armor.
Yeah.
She's aggressed on eating a lot fucking more people. And also,
Oh,
I
that's
love
another
how
thing.
the soldiers
Yeah,
just
they
drop
see all the
their
weapons and armor. Just leave your weapons and armor here, and they're like, "Oh, that's not a problem."
There's a
Oh,
fucking
really? Okay,
pile
go
of
on, then.
discarded arms back here.
Yeah. Go on, retards. Fucking hell, you get what you
Trick or
deserve.
treat.
Wonder how that ended up there.
Also, don't forget, a lot of people like to put aside the fact that Cersei was sexually assaulting Odysseus for years.
At least a year, I think it was.
Oh no, not Cersei. Well, both Cersei
Calypso.
and Calypso.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
banged
Calypso.
those
Team
other ones.
Calypso.
Yeah.
Too many
Zeus
C
had
words.
to intercede with Calypso. Look, Calypso, you're gonna have to stop getting your rocks off. He needs to go home. And she's like, oh, "Fine, all right, just because you're the high god." Sorry, God.
I'm just so upset.
It should
that-
have been me.
It's fair. It's like honestly, if Christopher Nolan wanted to put a little more like human touch into the Odyssey rather than playing with more gods, he still could have added Aeolus, because it was only until more recent translations of the Odyssey where they say that Aeolus is the god of the wind. He is just a mortal king that is heavily favored by the gods. So I don't know why they kept him. Maybe it was the whole having his sons marry his daughters thing. That's why they didn't include him. Who knows? But no, Aeolus isn't a god. He's just really, really, really liked by them, which is why he has a floating island.
Oh. Like, the problem too is, like, the movie had too many characters as it is for what it was capable of doing. Like, they add in Helen of Troy, and I've seen lots of people defend Helen and Elliot Page, like, oh, they were just in the movie a tiny little bit, that's not so bad. That makes it worse. Why did you even fucking bother then? Like, okay, you have a role. It's for like 3 lines and 2 minutes in the movie of the most beautiful woman in the world. Go outside and just pick the hottest chick you come across. But instead, they specifically go out of their way to pick the black chick.
It's really like being in a restaurant where you're like, yeah, I'll have the finest T-bone steak, cooked to perfection. They bring it out and it's sizzling. It smells amazing. And the waiter pulls out a little butter dish, opens it up, and takes out a very tiny piece of shit and just wipes it on the top of the steak. It's, thanks. I'm not going to eat that now.
Yeah.
Fine.
And again, it's worse because it didn't need to happen. Helen's role in the movie is utterly insignificant.
Completely trivial.
And same with Sinon and Elliot Page. There was no reason to get Elliot Page to do this. None. Absolutely none.
I honestly think that it was that Elliot Page is playing Achilles, but the leak came out and it was so fucking ridiculous they retconned it.
Possibly.
Because it, like, making Elliot Page the person that Odysseus talks to in Hades. It's like, no, that's Achilles. Why aren't you doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so upset that Odysseus didn't get to talk with his mom like he did in the original story, where he realized, oh shit, I've been gone for this long, my mom died while waiting for me.
Yeah. Or his dad when he got back to Ithaca.
Yeah. It's like we got a mention of his dad when Penelope was like, oh, you know, Telemachus is visiting his grandfather out in the country. It's like, okay, one, you shouldn't have even known that Telemachus went to Sparta in the first place, because what was it? Telemachus told the oldest, most trusted maidservant and everything, like, hey, I'm gonna go to Sparta. Don't tell my mother for 10 to 12 days, otherwise she'll send people after me. And, you know, Penelope didn't know for a while. She eventually found out. She couldn't really do anything. He eventually came back. Odysseus, when he came back to Ithaca, was staying with the swineherd for a while. Then Telemachus went to the swineherd. Odysseus revealed himself, and then they eventually went back to Ithaca to, you know, kill the suitors, all that stuff. But, you know, Nolan just cut all of that out.
Yeah, but so in a way, I can accept abridgments of the story in an epic movie, like Lord of the Rings, keeping out Tom Bombadil and the Scouring of the Shire. Like I can actually accept that, because it's like, okay, it is going to complicate and like change the flow of the narration. And if you're in a movie, so it's not like a book, you can't just pick it up and put it down. You know, I can understand from a directorial position why you would just be like, yeah, I'll just skip that bit for now. But like, there are so many like actual plot informing moments that are left out, like the nobody thing in particular, or the Bag of the Winds, or whatever it is. Like anything basically, like, again, the Bag of the Winds is another great one. It's like, why'd you leave that? That's the reason he ends up on Polyphemus's island, right? Or over, you know. So it's like, how, you know, why leave that out? But the arrogance of Odysseus being the primary thing, it's like, why make him try and act like he's guilty for Troy? He doesn't feel guilty for Troy. Like Odysseus, they even show him sacking Ismarus and the Sicyones directly after leaving Ithaca, and it's like, they're like, oh, we're Greeks from Ithaca, says the Indian man. It's like, okay, right? Okay, so you're also multicultural libtards, right? Because that's literally like Kemi Badenoch saying, "I'm the leader of the Conservative Party." It's like, I mean, I guess officially you might be, but nobody's going to look at you and be like, "Oh, you're a British politician. You know, you're from Africa." But like, it's not like there was any compunction for that. Like they're there, yeah, no, we're going to kill all the men and burn all the houses and steal all the women. And he says, "We're Greeks Mythica," and you can see them setting fire to the houses. Like, what the fuck are you doing? We need to go and get food. It's like, okay, well, get food then. Don't murder these guys and burn their houses. But this is just what they do. They are literally fucking Bronze Age pirates. So it's like, oh, but no, but that one city I sacked, I just feel so guilty about. I just feel so guilty. Then stop doing it. Don't then immediately go sacking other cities, you fucking lunatic.
I mean, they can't help it. It's in there, but I shouldn't finish the rest of it. Anyway.
Literally can't help it. Low impulse control.
Like, Nolan could have done something really cool if he wanted to lean more into horror. Like with the, I always forget how to pronounce their names. The Lestragonians. They could have done something really cool with that. Because when they show up on their island, in the story, they meet the daughter. The daughter brings them to, like, the entrance to the city. The queen shows up. They realize that she is a giantess, like the size of a mountain. They run off, and that's when all the soldiers spring up from wherever the fuck they were and start throwing spears at them, rocks and everything. They could have had a cool horror sequence when, like, it's described in the book where they started spearing Odysseus's men like fish, bringing them back
Are you
to
ready to rut this yellow mare's
eat for later.
buttery
They could have done
bread?
something really cool with that, but instead we got running through the trees. And
it was such a stupid scene in the film as well. So walk through, we find this giant kid in armor. Okay, what's he doing there? Just waiting for the Greeks, I guess. And he laughs at them, runs off, and then this army of fully armored fucking guys turns up. It's like, what were you doing just hanging out in the fucking woods?
Yep. Now, that entire scene was idiotic because there's nothing going on there. There's a child in full plate armor just chilling in the forest. He laughs at them first, then randomly screams as if he's suddenly panicking, then runs off. Then an army of space marines walk out of the fucking fog.
No. You know what they really reminded me of is the engineer from Prometheus.
Oh my god, you're right.
They walked like the engineer from Prometheus, which, don't get me wrong, I thought the engineer from Prometheus was cool, right? So I thought that was actually, okay, that it's not that it didn't look impressive. It's just, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Like, who are these people?
They didn't even eat them. There's no indication whatsoever that the Lestragonians are cannibals. They're just an island of fucking super heavily armored randos in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, just absolute maniacs. And when they got trapped by the trees, it's like, okay, push through them, dude. What are you doing? It's a couple of bendy trees.
There's
like,
a couple of
They're
thin
moving,
branches in
Sargon.
front of them, and they're just like, oh, well, we're stuck.
Yeah, I won't even try and escape then.
But my favorite scene is the one that we mentioned shortly earlier, the one where you've got the one Greek actor in the movie speaking Greek to an African who translates it into English for an Indian, who then explains to the Greek person that they're Greeks.
Honestly, it's really interesting how he is portraying, and the suitors as well, multiracial, right?
Mm-hmm.
The suitors were all from Ithaca. So the Ithaca is just essentially London or Birmingham or any other multiculti city in Western Europe or the West, like Canada or wherever. That's what they think Ithaca's like. And it's like, that's very interesting. It's very sinister as well to suggest that actually, like, the Greeks never had their own, like, homelands. No. All throughout history, it was always random foreigners in a multicultural world. It's just the way it's always been.
Simultaneously, too, though, like, so the message here is the Greeks are multicultural. They're evil. They're the sea people. The laws of Zeus when they're abused, what is abusing the rules of Suze? It's foreigners coming in and taking more than their fair share and refusing to leave, and they become a problem.
Ready to rut this yellow mare's fluttery,
point,
buttery butt.
And then the native has to come back home. He has to find his way back home and kill all of the foreigners eating his food.
Yeah, but this is a problem with the fundamental message of the film, though, right? Because Christopher Nolan, and I'm sure you've seen the interview where he's talking about Zeus's law, Xenia, right?
Mm.
Now, Christopher Nolan is... I've never watched one of his films till the end before, right? I've always got bored halfway through. I don't want to be mean, but found it to be obviously pretentious bollocks. Christopher Nolan really reminds me of Brian Griffin. Like a pseudo-intellectual who doesn't actually understand any of the things that he reads or says, but wants to think that he understands and wants the aesthetic of being like clever and well-read and high-minded and all that sort of stuff, right? So that's it. Like, it's always a really basic moral message packaged in an unbelievably pretentious way. But moreover, it's incoherent, right? So he doesn't seem to understand what Xenia is. Xenia is not possible during a war. Like, it isn't the Trojans and the Greeks do not have a guest-host relationship when the Greeks are besieging Troy because the Trojans stole Menelaus's wife. Right, there is no application of Xenia there, and so for him to be like, yeah, well, this is really sad because of him betraying the laws of Xenia during the Trojan War. It's like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Right, but okay, in the film, you've got Telemachus explaining explicitly, yeah, it's just do unto others, or I can't remember the exact phrasing he uses, but it's just treating everyone like this is the golden rule. Right, he explains it to be the golden rule, which of course the Mycenaean Greeks didn't have, and doesn't even apply. But even if it did apply, okay, let's say the entire film is about promoting the golden rule. We have to be tolerant of strangers. We have to make sure that we tolerate strangers because, as he said in the interview, it's the only way that society can function. So, okay, what are you doing with the suitors then? Like, how does it make sense that Odysseus murders the suitors? Because if your message is we have to tolerate the stranger, well, that's actually what happened. Like, by that rule, what exactly did the suitors do wrong on their own grounds? Because, okay, they all thought that Odysseus was dead, so they were courting Penelope, and they were completely entitled to the hosting that they had through the laws of Xenia, and they didn't kill anyone. They were just, okay, eating his food, fair enough, but that's what you're supposed to do. So what's their crime exactly?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's because Christopher Nolan doesn't understand what kind of a movie he himself made. Because the argument that is all about, oh, you got to be kind to strangers. Fuck no. That's never in the movie.
That's the opposite message of the Odyssey.
Yes. At no point is that in the movie. I mean, hell,
no.
Even the Greeks are invading Troy. And what are the Trojans supposed to do? Open their gates and be like, well, you are strangers.
But moreover, like, the actual message of the Odyssey is you need to buckle up, take responsibility, wind your neck in, go home and restore order. That's the message that's the narrative arc of Odysseus and the Odyssey. And so, like, what's the message of Christopher Nolan's one? Well, it's really incoherent. Like, it's right. So I go home feeling guilty for not being kind to strangers, and then I murder a bunch of strangers in my home. Do I? Like, what message does he think he's projecting? Like, from the story's own narrative, it doesn't make sense that Zeus kills the suitors. From Nolan's own narrative, that is.
The movie, it's one of those things where you have the creator of the movie saying that he created a certain thing, and then you watch the movie, and that thing isn't even in the fucking movie. And so you're wondering, who the fuck actually made this? And I recall there was an interview shortly before the release of the movie where even the actors said that, they show up in the morning, they get on their spots, they do their scenes, and nobody has any real idea what's going on here. And even sitting through the movie...
That makes two of us, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really know what's going on here either.
So I recorded a video earlier today. That'll be out probably next week. Making the point that all of these points that we're talking about, but also there is actually a movie that is kind of what the Odyssey it puts across, right? It's Citizen Vigilante. Like that movie actually contains like the message that the Odyssey is trying to put across. If these suitors, these foreigners, are in your home, eating all your resources and abusing you, you should just kill them. Which is that movie's message. Which is also the message of the Odyssey. So it's like, okay, but like that's why. What are we doing? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. Because it literally boils down to you have to go home and kill the people eating your food.
Yes, and abusing your hospitality. But that's literally what Nolan was warning against.
Yeah.
So if we don't respect strangers, all of society breaks down. So okay, but who's that aimed at?
No one. Not in his story. Like,
Guaranteed citizenship.
it's a real life point that has no basis in the story he himself created. It's fucking baffling.
Yes, exactly correct. Exactly.
You know, it's bad when what is it? The first SpongeBob movie that came out portrays the Odyssey better than Christopher Nolan's film. And
Well, that's
the sad part.
that. Sorry, go on.
That's just the sad part because they have King Triton's daughter who basically is in the place of Athena. They have Patrick and SpongeBob go on all of these like different stops and voyages that reflect Odysseus' travel. They have the Bag of Wind. They have the Cyclops. They have all of that. They have Scylla. They have Charybdis. And it's just how does a children's cartoon do so much better than Christopher Nolan?
Well, what's interesting though, that I think gets to the heart of it, is that I just didn't think that I was watching the Odyssey, right? But this didn't feel like the story of the Odyssey, and it didn't feel like I was watching Odysseus. It felt like I was watching just some fucking woke skin suit.
Well, I don't like the politics of it. Like, because I barely even got a political vibe of it beyond the obviously retarded casting, which was done for, again, absolutely no reason for pittance side roles. But, like, the story itself is simply a very poorly done version of the Odyssey, with the occasional so Penelope is like, why shouldn't I rule Ithaca? Because the men won't follow you. You've complained about this throughout the entire movie. Ithaca can't raise an army without a king. Yeah. Simple. Circe, of course, like, oh, men, etc. But it's just...
Yep. But also, Menelaus with Helen's wounded face, like scarred face. Like, obviously, there's nothing in the Odyssey that suggests that Menelaus mutilates Helen of Troy's face. Just in case anyone was wondering. But it's just men bad, men bad. And in fact, like, Telemachus going to see Menelaus is one of the most heartening, sort of nice, kind parts of the Odyssey. Because Menelaus is thrilled to see him and he helps him out. It's, that's nice. You know, he's really kind to him, gives him all these gifts, and he's very, you know, if anyone follows the law of Xenia, it's fucking Menelaus.
Yep.
You know, so it's just like, why does he get such a bad representation in Nolan's Odyssey? He seemed like a chill dude.
Honestly, I think I always forget the actor's name, but the way that he played, but the way that he played Menelaus is the exact same way he played Shane in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
A pretentious asshole.
Yeah. Very true.
Like, the acting and the playing. So Matt Damon does his best with what he's given, which is very little, so he just looks confused as he wanders from one set piece from another. Tom Holland has his weakest performance I've ever seen. Like, Telemachus, they even have the scene where they show that they're training him. They're training him, and he does finally do the trick against the guy, one of the suitors that's breaking out the weapons, but he comes across as weak, useless throughout the entire thing. He's not strong. He's browbeaten by his mother. And Tom Holland's performance God, he doesn't feel like he's acting at all. He's just some guy who's there, not sure why.
Just
This is
in case
interesting.
anyone didn't worry as well, like Telemachus was not a pussy in the books.
No,
Mhm.
it was not.
But this was something that I seen in an interview with Tom Holland, because he didn't know how old Telemachus was. He said that he played him like he was 16 years old. And that tells a lot.
To be honest, I can't remember how old Telemachus was, but he was still...
22, I believe.
Oh, right, okay. Well then, yeah, I suppose.
Well, because, again, the point of Telemachus is that he's supposed to be highlighting growth and courage. He's supposed to be standing up to the suitors whilst his father is away, but there's too many of them. Like, he can't do it. He needs to grow into his father's role, and then his father arrives to show him how it's done, in essence. This Telemachus... Like, when he tries, he just gets his ass beat instantly, and then he has his mother have to beg for his life. And then he never grows from that point. At least if he'd grown from that, sure, but he never does.
It was sad during that last scene, because in the story, Telemachus and Odysseus fight side by side, essentially. Hell, even
Telemachus
the
is
swineherd
killing loads
helped.
of them.
Yeah.
Telemachus is skewering them with the spear, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They even had instead of just a random servant helping out the suitors by dropping weapons to the floor, I think it was the goat herd, I believe, that betrayed them and was trying to bring weapons down and everything. And then was it Telemachus and the swineherd, I believe, that actually hung him up in the storage room. They just hung him by his neck to where it was enough to cut off a bit of oxygen, but not kill him outright.
Also,
again, they could have done so many cool things with that, but they just left it.
there was another thing too, like the goat herder or whatever, because the blind servant,
Yeah, it's the swineherd.
the swineherd,
yeah.
Emmaus, he constantly points out, oh, you shouldn't be wearing spurs. I can hear you. You're no knight. Like,
Oh well,
What?
so I'm not that bothered about the anachronisms, because I mean, obviously the film's full of them. Like when they're riding on horses to kill Elliot Page, it's like no, they didn't ride horses. There are loads of great history channels, right? And a lot of them often discuss, well, how much history is there in Homer? And it's a surprisingly large amount, because Homer was in the Iron Age in Greece when they had horse riding, but he talks about a time where they didn't have horse riding, and he never gets that wrong. He always has them in chariots, on the understanding that they're driven around to the battlefield on their chariot. Now, that might not be an actually accurate representation of how Iron Age chariots were used, but it at least is accurate that they weren't riding the fucking horses.
Yeah. It's like this morning I seen that Metatron uploaded a video talking about the historical accuracy of the Odyssey for Homer's version, and he goes in depth about that quite a bit. So if you guys haven't seen it, you guys should listen to it. It was a nice little listen.
but again, like it strikes me as one of those moments like in Gladiator 2, when one of the bad guys is sitting in the public square reading a newspaper. It's...
I don't remember that.
They're too fucking lazy to come up with anything. Like, okay, so the idea is the blind servant can hear this guy walk around. Fine, give him a staff or something, or heels with iron studs or anything. But they're like,
bronze armor. Give him clanking bronze armor.
Anything. But instead, like, well, he's going to wear spurs because he's a knight.
They don't ride horses. Why would they have spurs? And even then, it took them thousands of years to develop spurs after learning to ride horses.
The spurs weren't invented before the fucking 9th century after death. That's a fairly recent invention.
I know. Spurs are closer in time to the motor car than they were to the Odyssey.
Yes. And it's just laziness. It's just laziness and an active disgust of history.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that they couldn't have just got some historian. I mean, they literally had Tom Holland, the historian, advising them. Why would he not have told them these things?
Oh, I mean, this is one of those things that is so obvious that you'd think any old fucking stagehand or extra on set, somebody should have raised their hand and go like, hold on, Spurs?
Even if they didn't know, you'd think, okay, well, we've got Wikipedia or ChatGPT. It's like ChatGPT. Did they have horse riding? Did they have spurs? Did they have, whatever? I mean, this again, another one of those interesting things about Homer is that he's got everyone wearing bronze armor and using bronze weapons. It's like, oh, right, okay, that is interesting. Why would someone in the 8th century in the Iron Age know that they only use bronze weapons? Because if, like, you see this in the Middle Ages, in the tapestries and paintings in the Middle Ages, where they're like, aha, here's, like, Caesar crossing the Rubicon, and they're all wearing medieval armor. And you're like, okay, that looks fucking stupid, bro. But that's only because we know, because we've got, like, archaeology and various, other ways of knowing, that the Romans didn't have contemporary medieval armor. But if you're in the Middle Ages and you don't have these things, you don't know, why wouldn't you just assume? Like, you've got no way of knowing. And so the fact that Homer knows, oh no, they only wear bronze. They only use their bronze spears and whatnot. It's like, okay, well, that's interesting. It makes it sound like it's actually a lot more historical than you'd think.
Oh, because that's the interesting point as well, because this really much so feels like Caesar in full medieval plate armor crossing the Rubicon, because the Greeks wearing iron armor, fucking Agamemnon is wearing a Batman suit.
Oh,
Nobody who was working on this took even a moment of care in anything they were doing. Like the fact that they're riding a Viking longship. There even exists a replica of the same exact type of ship as he would have used, and they just couldn't be asked.
It's genuinely mad, isn't it?
I've already yapped about this a lot, and I will continue to yap about it. But they ignored the modern day Hephaestus to make this bullshit. I sent you his recreation of Odysseus'
The bronze armor. Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
So pretty.
Yes.
The LARPers are doing so much better work than the fucking Hollywood productions.
Oh,
yes,
not even close.
cosplayers have always done better. I mean, we've seen that with Disney's Snow White, where the cosplayers' dresses and outfits are much more high effort than whatever the hell Disney was doing.
I don't understand why they're so lazy.
Like, it has to be an active disregard. And, like, the best case scenario is they just don't care. The worst case scenario is, because we asked beginning of the stream, right? Why did they even make this movie? And we can't really detect a reason why they made this movie. The only thing we know is that it's got diversity in it, and that's about it. Like, it might simply be that the movie was created just to be bullshit propaganda, to actively try to destroy history. And it's sort of kind of succeeding, as it's doing. So I've seen loads of people go like, oh, it's a massive success. It's huge. It shows that Go Woke, Go Broke is finally defeated. It's not doing that well.
No, Arch. Don't interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. Yes, guys, you're absolutely right. What you need to do is another massive big budget film by whoever else. It doesn't have to be Christopher Nolan, and you need to make it even woker. Go on, go ahead. Burn your fucking money, retards.
Because there's a thick layer of gaslight over this movie. They need this to succeed. And it's going to succeed to a degree, and the narrative will see to that. But I think this is going to end up at like 500, 600 million, which is good. It's probably still going to earn its money back. But...
Yeah, but it's Christopher Nolan, right? He's got a huge fan base. He's a very popular filmmaker. Yeah, okay, Christopher Nolan made a film and it did well. Yeah, no shit. Now get someone else to do it. Now include actors who are not quite as famous as the ones, as Matt Damon and whoever else. Test this twice. See if lightning strikes twice. Spend half a billion dollars on it, whatever. Go for it. You're right. Woke won, and the chuds are over. Spend your money. See how it goes.
But the other thing too is like, this is him trading in on his reputation.
Yes.
And I think he's going to lose a lot of fans over this, because this is the exact opposite of... And there's another weird thing too. Oppenheimer was a movie that he went into and did loads of diligent research, and then he created this.
But no, it's the same sort of motive for Oppenheimer and Odysseus.
Yes, that
I feel so
Oppenheimer too
guilty.
is fearing his own creation.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, I'm sure this feels like a meaningful narrative to you, Mr. Nolan, but yawn.
Yeah. It is, but beyond the core, the core is kind of similar, I admit. But it just, to me, the Odyssey felt like a movie that wasn't made by Christopher Nolan at all. I don't know what it felt like. It didn't feel like almost anything. Like the plot line was incoherent, the main thrust of the story was incoherent, the acting was terrible, like nobody was giving them directions.
Yeah, I heard that. Apparently Nolan was just like, get on with it, that's your job. Direct yourself, basically. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like it was just kind of checked out in the whole thing.
Yeah. But I'm weirdly not bothered by it, right? Like, because it was supposed to be like, oh, look how offended the chuds are. And maybe I've just been doing this for long enough now, but I'm well aware of why they race swap. I'm well aware of why they make these movies. And then what do you know about it? It's Black Helen of Troy and fucking Elliot Page's Achilles or whatever. It's like, oh, fuck off, like Elliot Page's Achilles or whatever. It's like, oh, fuck off. Was that you, Arch?
Yeah. That window was
Also-
supposed to be muted. It wasn't.
Right. But it's like, I'm not going to fall for the bait, I'm not going to get upset
Yeah.
about it. Like, this film isn't made for me, someone who would actually want to watch The Odyssey as The Odyssey. This film is meant to try and shit on people like me, so fuck yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I was looking at the prices of IMAX theaters, and specifically the 70 millimeter version of this movie.
Yeah.
The prices of those tickets are $30 to $35. And don't forget, those IMAX tickets sold out before we even got the casting of this movie.
Huh.
I fucking hated that too, because there's literally two different movies now where the proper version is shot and has far wider views, and it's like, God, you just feel
Don't you love
disrespected
prop
as the
movies?
movie-going audience at that point.
Yeah.
Well, again, like, I don't know, man. Like, there's something about this, just, it feels like it's part of a fan club I'm not in. So I never felt patronized or like left out or anything, because it, like, okay, I'm sure Chris Nolan's got loads of fans, but I've just never been one of them. So I was just like, okay, well, whatever.
But like I said, vanity project.
Yeah.
Vanity project, or just something he was almost paid or ordered to do. Like, it didn't feel like he knew what he was doing. Even the interviews, he clearly didn't watch his own movie, it felt like.
Yeah, his weird fixation on Xenia, when it's like the story is he goes back and kills the guests. Like, I'm not sure that's Xenia, mate.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Maybe
it's
he
like,
finally hit his midlife crisis, and this is one of his many future bad movies.
Oh no, he's going down the fucking Ridley Scott route.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, Ridley Scott, man. I used to love his films, and then he became an old man, and he produced nothing but bullshit.
it's just not a very good movie. That kind of culminates the review, honestly. It's not a good movie.
Yeah, but it's also like, it's not like a bad movie either. Like, I watched it and I wasn't bored. I didn't hate it. I was just like, okay, if I'm a normie film goer, I'll watch it. I'm like, yeah, it's like 6, maybe even 7 out of 10. You know, it's all right. It was an okay film. It wasn't something I'd watch twice unless I had nothing else, literally nothing else to watch. But like, you know, it's not one of those films that you just whack on because you're just like, yeah, it's Saturday evening or something, and I want to watch a good film. It's not Master and Commander. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
Oh,
It
definitely.
would be an okay movie if it didn't have the name Odyssey attached to
Yeah.
it.
yeah. But it would have been very mediocre, but it was okay. You know, it wasn't terrible.
I would be harsher. I would give it like a 5 out of 10, best case scenario, because there's no central hook. There's no plot. There's no reason why I should watch this movie over anything else. And even its own, it's clearly confused as to what it's supposed to be doing here.
But I'm
It
just
definitely feels like an old. You know what? Maybe this is the purpose of the film.
Heresy's
The
question.
way that it carries
Fire is the
itself, it's
answer.
like an old war veteran just rambling on about his experiences on what happened out in the field. Does it make
Yeah.
sense? No, but you just kind of sit and bear it.
yeah. I think that, and this seems to be what Nolan is thinking about, right? Like maybe he's just obsessed with World War II or something.
Maybe. But, Sargon, you have somewhere else to be, don't you?
I do. Yes, I do. Right. Okay. Right. Well, nice to meet you, Lum Lum. Sorry, I've got to duck out a bit early today, chat. But I'll see you next week.
Plug the stream.
Nice
Tell
meeting you too,
Critical
Sargon.
Drinker to get me on too at some point. This is
I
a payment
will, I
for
will.
you to abandon me.
Take it easy.
See ya.
See ya. But yes,
You know
Sargon
what?
is going
I told
on
you I can
Critical
do this.
Drinker.
Nice.
I wonder, can we raid that stream? That'll be self-promotion for myself.
We should be able to.
That was loud. But yeah, no, that is basically all I have to say about the movie. I didn't like it. It was boring. It was uninteresting. The people who made it didn't know what movie they were making. The person who wrote it didn't know what fucking kind of movie he was fucking making. Everybody on this just seemed to have been a thoroughly confused individual, really. And that doesn't make for a very
Yeah.
good movie.
I just like the source material too much to not overlook it, because just even the little things where they get to the Sun God's Island and they're like, oh, these are Apollo's cows. No, the fuck they're not. They're Helios's cows. Because, like, you know, after they kill the immortal cows and everything, Helios went to Zeus and is like, if you don't punish them, I will bring the sun down to Hades, and only the light will shine there. Which is why Zeus went and, you know, fucked up the rest of Odysseus' crew.
And I can't raid Critical Drinker because I don't. He needs to accept the thingy bob at the back end to let me raid him. So sorry, chat. But Sargon will be over there in a moment. And honestly, we're kind of going to wrap up now too, because that's pretty much the review. Honestly, it's not a very good movie, and I wasn't even having fun. I was having my little pork rinds, drinking my cola, wondering if I was going to have to get up and pee, and if I'd missed something worth commentating on. That was literally my entire experience with the movie. Helen of Troy has no place in it. Elliot Page has no fucking place in it. Matt Damon has no place in it. Honestly, he doesn't know. And okay, I only partially blame Matt Damon for this because he clearly doesn't have any direction, you know? Honestly, bring back fucking Sean Bean from the 2004 version. He would have done an infinitely better job.
It's like Matt Damon isn't a bad actor. I adored him in The Brothers Grimm. He did great in that movie. But I honestly think a lot of this was just bad direction for the people who can actually act. I mean, look at Anne Hathaway. She overacted her heart out.
Well, that's kind of what I mean. Like, it feels like nobody was instructing anybody on this thing at all. The actors were, because you've got Tom Holland, who's just playing a 16-year-old child. You've got Penelope, who's screaming and crying her eyes out about why she can't be king for some fucking reason. Then you've got Matt Damon just mildly amused in the middle of all of this. Clearly, nobody was giving them an idea of what was expecting of them here.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, my conspiracy theory is that this... I think somebody approached Christopher Nolan to make him make this movie. I think this was somebody else, the ominous they, who went like, listen, this is not going well. Our cultural power is waning rapidly here. We're going to need some help. We need you to cast loads of black people. We're going to need Elliot Page in it because she hasn't worked for like 4 fucking years. We're going to need some mainstream lines, bring people in, and you're going to have to make this movie. And they offered him enough money or enough trips to fucking the next Epstein's Island or God knows what for him to do it. That's what it feels like to me.
It's like I've just been kind of sitting and thinking. I know it's quite dangerous, really, but I honestly think that Christopher Nolan picked up this project because of how popular Epic the Musical got, because it brought the Odyssey back into the central attention of a lot of people, because not a lot of of the younger generation heard about the Odyssey before Epic the Musical. Then this is when a bunch of people started looking at it again. It became a hot topic again. Nolan seen that as like, okay, I can capitalize off this. And at least the creator of Epic the Musical said, hey, we made a lot of changes to this to make it an interesting musical experience. But at least he was honest about that. And just, I don't know. I'm looking forward to the animated musical project that he is doing for that. That I will be watching happily. This shit, no.
We'll do some super chats. And by the way, Sanctuary Shattered Sun has a demo. We'll be playing that tomorrow, chat. I'm looking forward to it. More Supreme Commander. But before I waffle too far off, Lumi licks feet tips. That's true, she does.
What?
Hi, Art. Sargon, Fish, Art. Is Lumi footing the bill for this stream? Footing.
No, you guys paid for it.
You managed to chase off... I was lucky Sargon had to leave, actually. Otherwise, he'd have to sit here and read the super chats.
Oh my god, I know. It's like, part of me was sad that he had to leave, but it was nice talking with him. I told you I could behave, Arch. I'm happy he left before these fuckers could get to him, though.
Excuse me. Lum, make noises whilst I write a quick message. Entertain.
Okay. Anyways, chat. I do agree. Mel Gibson would make a lot better of an Odyssey. Also, let's see. Is Mel Gibson also doing Passion of the Christ too? I'm still excited for Passion of the Christ too. I don't care if it's been way too fucking long. I will watch that movie. My ass will be in the theater. Lum wins after all? Yes, I am a good fish. I am a well-behaved fish. I told you I could behave, but you guys didn't have any type of faith in me. Was sad Lum wasn't embarrassed? Hey, I was actually, honestly, quite nervous before the stream started because I was afraid that I was gonna, say something stupid. The reason why I was so quiet some of the time was because I was thinking about what I was going to say next. Because I knew I couldn't fuck this up. Because you guys would track me for it for weeks.
Maybe we'll do this again, chat. And we'll do super chats earlier to make sure.
No.
Maybe. Lord Abin finally caught you guys live. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your donation. Boog, nice to see Lumi and Sargon finally together, especially after the World Cup. Incident and Lumi's strong opinions on the Falklands. Since she's Argentinian. She's Argentinian now. She is many things, our Lum. Many, many weird things. Marksman, hello Footfish, lover of feet, who's also Mexican. We gamers call that playing life in hard mode. Put this 10 towards milking farm. Jet knows how much she loves her milking books. Sargon to join just to listen and learn about the female mind. Okay.
No.
Skiki2, hello Swede, Scotsman and Taco Fitch. The Nolan's Odyssey is truly upon us. Are we some kind of Age of Empire researching Iron Age now? No, our Age of Bronze has collapsed. It's too late. It's over. It's over because you went to war against the people who blatantly insulted you. It's over. Cody Opperman, Sargon, help I'm suffering. Sargon, what? Oh god, that's why you had little dith there. Control F Sargon, because I was like, okay, let's just. And I was like, well, there's no question to Sargon. It's because you add in the little thingy, little dit thing that adds in the word, so I can't Control F Sargon. Cow. Help, I'm suffering from an Odyssey complex, which is weird because I have no wife to go home to. Opendasius makes me ashamed to admit this. Sandum, I had no intention of seeing the Odyssey. It's got no pull to make me interested. Thanks for saving me money and time by reviewing it. I sympathize. I wish I didn't have to. The movie I most regret watching is Napoleon. Fucking Phoenix, the guy who was very popular after Joaquin Phoenix. That as Napoleon.
Yeah.
I hated that movie. That was the worst fucking movie.
I've heard all about it through Alex Adamson just yapping about it on how bad it is in the rest of my Discord server. I will never put myself through that. Instead, I will just keep watching Sharp.
That was the worst fucking movie. Anti-Hero, good evening. I'll watch you discussing the shit show tomorrow. Already wondering if the fish can behave or the spray bottle will be applied. It is wise to apply the spray bottle. Daddy's Belt for $50. Thank you, sir. I never understood why the right never funds anything like this. It would be hilarious to watch a movie where we drag our sacks over their golden calves. Last few years of unclassified document has given us plenty to work with. Well, actually, so there was a thing on Twitter where some rando tweeted at Elon, like, hey, you should give Mel Gibson $100 and see what he comes up with in forms of an Odyssey movie. And Elon said that he was down. So maybe.
Yes, I too will give Mel Gibson $100. You mean $100 million?
$100 million, yes. Oh, maybe.
Citizenship.
Diswiz, Nolan's Odyssey is an edgelord's doodle, cherry-picked history with 15-year-old aesthetics and a far-left ideas for validation on an endless budget. And the worst part is, too, $250 million. Where the fuck did that money go? It didn't go to the costumes. It didn't go to the boat, because apparently they never paid the fucking lease for it and damaged it. Where did the $250 million fucking bucks go? Straight into Matt Damon's and Elliot Page's pockets?
Appearance phase, yes.
Fucking analog mind. Fish meets Acadians. Marine Alva. Well, the YouTube channel Simple History did the opposite of Kutz Kozak with their video on the true cost of communism. The cost of communism is incalculable. Soloxon Doppelganger, we should run a full left-wing life ruination campaign against Helen of Detroit. Ethan Grant, hail all! And Conan, the Conan Fund.
Are you ready to rut this yellow mare's
Thank you for your donation, sir. Definitely not a Frenchman. The day has come. Back in school, 2014, 2016, we had to read both the Odyssey and Iliad, then watch Troy, 90s Odyssey, and Oh Brother Conan Fund. I think we watched Jason and the Argonauts. I remember that, but we only watched like half of it, and I was very incredibly disappointed because it was really, really cool.
Did you ever watch the movie on your own time, Art, or did he just leave it like that?
Nope. I was too young to understand. I'll check it out. The Odyssey is so bad, even plot armor doesn't fit it. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Slightly mad Ghoul Krell. Good evening, Arch. If you don't believe that your Rat Brick Comic can conquer GW, may I suggest an easier alternative? The UK. Well, I would like to believe that our Rat Brick Comic can conquer GW, but we'd have to raise like £10 million, which might be a lot to ask of you. It's quite a lot of money.
Okay, chat. Okay, chat. We need a new chat fund. Arch buying GW.
Ah, that would be an interesting fund to raise for, yes. Subo Kaji, if I am nobody, then I can't like the stream. Well, you can, because Odysseus was nobody. And he roused Poseidon against him. Definitely not a Frenchman. Can't wait for the Conan book read and Axis analyzing the analyzing the Abhorrent Age. Save my money for the end of Oak Saint Conan. Oh, end of Oak Street. Conan book read. Conan. I would like to read Conan. TG Friends, best way to cleanse the palate. Watch the old TV Odyssey with Armand Asante. Glory to you and your house. Thank you, sir. Zeduxon Doppelganger, their culture of power doesn't matter when they have political and institutional power. Unless they want who want wisdom are willing to escalate things to where the left is at, and all that implies we all die. I see, cultural power will change political and institutional power. It always has in the past, it will now. In fact, the counter-revolution has already begun in certain places. It's fine. We're doing well. Martinez been with him for 31 months. In the Odyssey, they get him drunk to get him to fall asleep. Keegan Penix next will make the Mahabharat with Harthans. English. Emo Otaku, I would prefer a live action version of Ulysses 31 to this. I think we would all prefer almost anything to this. Definitely not a Frenchman thinking about getting a Battletech thoughts. Conan? Getting Battletech's thoughts? And Alias Dune was better adaptation than this. Conan. Well, buying Battletech would be cheaper, but... Well, no, we could buy Battletech, and then we just hire Razorfist to run it for us. Easy. Maranga 2. If Nolan wanted to deviate this much, he should have just made the old Ulysses 31 cartoon as a movie instead of this. Or just done what The Simpsons did. The Simpsons did a better version of the Odyssey than this. Looney Lenny, what was the goal? It's simple, replace the old with the new. This is the Odyssey's now, it's communist subversion. I mean, yes, that is in large part what it is as well, but I don't know if there was even the understanding that they were trying to do that, although... I mean, honestly, it's a better explanation for the mess they made than anything else. And I've already seen people now go like, listen, people are saying there weren't any black Greeks? Don't they know that Greece was right north of Africa? As if that somehow fucking helps. Oh well. Don't worry, the tides will turn and we will get rid of this. The Sir Ian, did you all hear about the rumor that Mel Gibson might make more accurate version of the Odyssey? We just mentioned that. Yes, I hope it's fucking true. I really do. Enigma, hello, Argon of Troy, Achilles and Trojan Fish. Have you considered that Hollywood just makes things out of spite at this point? I mean, like, if they were making out of spite, at least they'd be driven. You know, hatred is a good motivator, but this genuinely felt like nobody really knew, understood, or even wanted to be part of this project. Like, nobody felt like they were invested in this. Definitely not a Frenchman. Conan, Shadows of Zambula is a modern Britain. Conan. Thomas Clarkson, I think that this movie is the story of the boomers. Odysseus, peak boomer, goes and destroys Troy, the West, with their immigrant horde, and they feel guilty and don't want to return home to face the next generation.
Fire is the answer.
I'm sorry, Telemachus. All of these people, I let them fuck your mother. I'm sorry. Fair to say, not. How were the Mercedes-Benzes? They certainly don't make them like they used to. This applies to most other things now. That's true. It was a nice museum. I enjoyed my little trip there, and my father enjoyed it even more. That was the important part. His little happy body wiggled in pleasure as he watched all of the old cars, and he could point to them and go like, I used to have that old car. And I looked at it, it's like, it has engine and 4 wheels. It is car.
Oh. It's always good to get out with your parents and be like, yes, let them enjoy the things that they like
It was car. There were several cars, or so I have been assured. Though I don't know the difference between the cars. Qatar, multi-culty city is the new D&D campaign setting. We got dragon cultists, Cthulhu orders, even Bible thumpers. We get all the cults in these walls. Irewolf, oh brother, where art thou? Is by far the better adaptation of the Odyssey. I mean, honestly, I'm just waiting for the porn adaptation now. It's going to have better costumes and better casting. It'll be a way better story.
Bold to assume there isn't already one.
Well, I'm hoping they'll, honor the new movie with a fresh adaptation,
I'm sure they're probably already in production, Arch. I'm sure you'll update us.
Kitsune Kobito, epic, a musical rendition of Odyssey, Moggs Nolan, and it was written by a college kid and sung by his friends. I need to check that out, I guess.
You do. Ooh, if you want, if you don't want to just listen to the music, I know a video that has a bunch of artist animatics for each of the songs that I can link you if you would like visuals with it.
Magnet Man, did you see the Odyssey's Wrap the Cast? I did. Thanks for that, Kirsha. And it made me want to pull an Aristotle and drink hemlock. No, and again, we talk about pointless fucking casting. The random rapper dude that they hired to open the movie, he's not even rapping. At least that would have been creative. He's just standing there smacking his staff and going like, I thought, a man. Like, there was no reason to have that man be there at all. He fulfilled no purpose whatsoever. Warbos Doom for $20. Thank you very much, sir. I watched the Odyssey that was made back in 97. I recommend you guys do a review of it and compare it to the modern one. I don't need to. It was better. Simple. Easy. Quick. GPS, third time's the charm. Carl, how much of a random Cam's 40-minute bath do you third time's the charm? Yeah. Oh.
Try for a fourth time. You should really just alt-tab if anything says Sargon or Carl. Just so you can read these out when he's here.
I try. Like, I do the Control-F, but for some reason it doesn't notice half of them. Babs, do you think you can get through before noping out? Finishing out on your channel is a chance to earn some money in Superchats. Listen, 41-minute video, we're not getting through that. Maybe we get 20 if we're lucky. Like, if it's uninteresting, we can maybe do 30, but then it sort of defeats the point, I guess. Subject Noble, I think it's funny that Emperor Septimus Severus, who's from North Africa, seen a black man for the first time, and he thinks it's a bad omen. So historically, the ancient Greeks probably thinks the same. And, well, the Odyssey does nothing to discourage this idea that black people are indeed dangerous. Subu Kaji, speaking of accuracy, it's annoying domino. Domini. Not after death. Domini. Not after death. It's AD, after death. Screw you. That's how I learned it. That's how I'm going to keep saying it. It's after the man died on the cross. Simple. GPS. Also, Lum, are you a happy fish now? Are you a happy fish now? Are you pleased? Do you exist in a little vacuum bubble of happiness?
I am a happy fish. It's like, as I was saying when I was yapping at the chat while you were typing up your little message. I was nervous. I didn't want to fuck this up. When I was quiet, I was thinking of every single word that was going to come out of my mouth because I didn't want to fuck it up, and then people be like, "Aha, we called this over her for weeks." And I didn't even have to use my still unredeemed no bully Lum card. I could still save that for later. Yes.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it is true. Maybe it is not.
I still appreciate it. It was fun talking with Sargon and yapping about the Odyssey. This is one of the few things that I'm actually passionate about. I'm happy. I'm a happy fish.
Flexing Potato, howdy y'all. I just want to recommend a channel called Basic Logic. His videos are excellent, and I think he'd make a good guest for Stamford Bridge. Thank you. Thorax the Imps. Lindy Page, the video on historical consultants years ago. He said that they are regularly ignored, especially if their corrections go against the director's vision. I mean, that seems obvious, yes. I'm presuming they just hired them on to argue that they had them there, I guess. Just to be like, oh, we had one of those. We didn't talk to him, listen to him, or even have him in the same room as us at any point, but he was there. He was on the cast. Nolan F.U., the Draken HH is really cool. It just does not belong in that movie. Draken, yes, the boat. It is very cool. It does not belong in that movie. It really just doesn't. Boog, I recommend 3 good Odysseys movies. The first one, and the second one, and the third one, maybe? Oh, is this the third one? This probably is the second one. Who knows? And Anthony, I'm done giving the cult known as Hollywood my money. The last Hollywood movie I watched was Avengers Endgame. Well, you're lucky you're allowed to do that. I still have to go through all of this. Well, sometimes it's good, because I get to watch the Spider-Man movie and call it a business expense, because it's probably going to be good. But I'm going to have to watch Doomsday. I don't want to watch Doomsday. I want to watch Doomsday less than I wanted to watch the Odyssey. Because at least the Odyssey I was hoping might be an interesting train wreck. It wasn't even. It was just a boring fucking movie. But Doomsday is going to be a sad excuse for a video. Lego, this movie was supposed to fund the next 10 Hollywood flops. This looks like it might fund only itself or one of the film. Hollow victory at best. I agree. I don't think it's... I think there's a lot of gaslighting going around its success. It doesn't really seem to be doing that well, in my opinion. I think it's doing meh at best. Especially considering also the size of Christopher Nolan's supposed fan base. Adam Tackman, hour late. Oh, hi, Lum Lum. That's a Lum Lum. She's there. She lives. Martinez, how was the car museum in Germany? It was a museum, and it had things inside of it with engines in them and wheels. That was about all I really understood about all of it, but I was assured that they were cars, and that apparently this was very revolutionary. Lumi loves feet. Yes, she does. 1, 2. Hello, Lum Lum. Hail Arch. Greetings, rest. Lumi has stated she wanted to make a good impression on Sargon. Presumably, she mentioned she intends to make a mold of his feet for later general use. Please stop her from doing so. Bad, Lum Lum. No feet for you. Lum Lum's choice for supers.
I don't know what funds you have going on right now.
Good.
Put it towards the fund closest to being funded.
Iron Wolf, Sargon needs to stay for Super Chats. Sargon never stays for Super Chats. Sargon's a little fucking ditcher like that. This was I is Nob, not Nob. Who's Nasdrag Ud Ugrub? Who's Nasdrag or Nob whose, as in yours, Nasdrag Ugrub? Is it what's a new character? Or is that the Bad Moon one? Random Orcs. Probably the Bad Moon one. Mr. Wizard Frenzy, evening all. Sorry I missed the stream, but I'll watch the VOD later. Nolan sucks. Epic is better. Also, Arch, when is the next vampire stream? This weekend, I'm hoping.
It's on Sunday. If Mal or Porkers or any of us don't die.
Valimio, I'm back from a week in Norway. Thank you, Arch, for recommending my new best thing, Brunost. Also, Arch, how does one mow a grass roof? Goats. Literally, goats. Because they have no problems getting up there. And document, use to see like numbers, even on mobile. Maybe a few months ago in my case, not anymore. Strange. Well, isn't mobile supposed to have the hype feature? But apparently the hype feature isn't live in Norway, so... Richard Bloom, check out Pilgrim Pass. He makes great content similar to yours. His 2 recent videos are about his experiences getting wounded in Ukraine. Damn. Libby Loves Feet. Hello, Lum Lum. Congrats on making it to Stamford Bridge. Somehow you managed to not stick your anyone else's foot in your food hole for the duration of the stream. Even Sargon's resisting the urge to do so must have been very difficult for you. Next time, I won't wait to super chat. I won't wait to super chat, even if I'm 50. Listen. Well, I too want to embarrass Lum Lum, so maybe we can do this again.
What?
Alex Anderson, keep watching Sharp, she says. You said we'd continue watching it in August, Lumi. That was August, last year, Lumi. When, Lumi? When? Arch, punish fish.
Hey, that was when I was in my sad state of not streaming. So we'll get to it.
He says, with a degree of confidence. Steel Void, would you consider reviewing The Max animation? The Max animation? I don't know what this is. Google shows me a large purple person. I still have no idea what this is. Father Jack the Enlightened, Axel Brown would make a superior Odyssey. Yes, he would. There's no doubt about that. Boog, now the Sargon is gone, show the Helen I sent you.
Oh, I also sent you a thing that my server made.
That's still weird. That's still weird. Also, I don't even see anything. Boog. Damn Boog. Iron Wolf, I would love a good Aeonid adaptation. Well, you can forget about it. We're not getting good adaptations of anything. That's just the law now. Sujar, been playing Shattered Sun. The controls are somehow far worse than Supreme Commander controls. Absolute bare bones basics. Curb your expectations. Oh no. Well, I'll curb my expectations, but I sure hope it's good. I want it to be good. I would like for it to be good. I would prefer it if it was good. If it's not good, I will be sad. Deeply sad. Right. Well, with that, chat, we are at a rapid end. We have a nice, quick little stream today, reviewing the Odyssey. Bad movie. Don't bother. Don't even fucking pirating it. You will be sad. That is all. It is not an experience I would recommend to basically anyone, frankly. And Sargon has wandered over to the Critical Drinker if you want to see that and yell at them. It's definitely important that you yell at them and make sure that Sargon plugs his true friends and home. Otherwise, he may forget because he's a senile boomer. And for now, I see Atari is doing something perverted, so I'll send you over to him so you can remind him that we have an RP this weekend, so he doesn't strain anything. A filthy little creature.
And also here, for any of you guys that are lazy, here is the link to Critical Drinker stream with Sargaruni, if you guys want to beep over there.
And until tomorrow, where we're going to check out Sanctuary Shattered Sun, and boy, I hope it's good. Bare bones, chat says. Oh boy. I've been hoping for this game for quite some time, so I hope there's at the very least promise there. And until this weekend and the ArchCast, and finally the RP again on Sunday, have a very good night, chat.
Bye, guys.
Oh, James Coon, hello, Arch and guest. Hope your day went well.
Fire is
Arch, you probably know this, but have you seen Total War 40k range combat? I saw it. They were just using footage from a stream I'd already seen, so I just, kind of skimmed through it. It kind of looked ass. I don't like it, and I don't think they'll be able to do range combat well, and nothing I've seen so far has convinced me otherwise, so we'll see. But I'm not having too massive of a hope for Total War Warhammer 40k. And now, thank you for your donations, everyone, and good night.